You know that character that walks into the room and exudes confidence? They say a few words, but everyone is hyper-focused on them specifically. Maybe it's their strength, infamy, or renown that makes people stop. They don't need to talk. Their actions speak volumes. And when they need to speak, we know it's for a quick quip, or they're making a statement that's important. This character trope I like to call is the Stoic, or more specifically, the Stoic Badass. This player character or fictional character doesn't need a lot of words. Whether it is a battlefield, a heart-stopping chase from Cthulhian horror, or a confession to their deepest love, the PC will most likely not show any emotion. And one might think, this sounds like kind of a boring character, but I disagree. I think, like many other fictional tropes I've covered on my channel before, these player characters can shine even if they cultivate an air of mystery, confusion, and suspicion. So today, I'll be unpacking the Stoic character trope. What does it entail? Examples in fiction, and how it would work for your TTRPG or D&D game. First question. What is the Stoic archetype? The defining feature for a Stoic is their lackluster display of emotions. This lackluster display could materialize in a number of different ways. Character could be pretty snarky when they need to speak, though they're usually almost always silent, or doesn't speak much. They could have no sense of humor when there is a humorous situation happening in the fiction. Their stoicism could be hiding past trauma or relationship issues. Or they could not necessarily be quiet or unable to talk. Rather, they are selective when they talk, and even more selective when they do show emotion. And when they do, it is likely a key, pivotal moment in the story. These characters shine best with other wacky and strange personalities. So, Stoic, I think, isn't one-dimensional, and there are plenty of characters in fiction that do exactly that. And I have plenty of examples today. The first is Batman from the DC Comics and the DC Universe. Batman is the epitome of stoic, brooding, and generally takes no crap from anyone. But his relationships with others like Robin, for example, through all the iterations of the comics, shows, and movies, shows that he cares for his mentor in some capacity. Next is Captain Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan. Levi in the anime is the pinnacle of humanity with his strength and just his general badassery. And throughout the series, he's constantly kicking butt, taking names, and just being awesome while also being generally stoic. But he will certainly speak up when needed. Next is Nanami Kenta from Jujutsu Kaisen. The Sally worker turned grade 1 sorcerer is the perfect example of stoicism. He's stoic, serious, but when it's necessary and when it's overtime, he's ready to kick some butt. And when push comes to shove, he can and does show emotion, especially when protecting Itadori and the other students at Tokyo Jujutsu High. But less on anime, let's talk about some movies. And one movie that came to mind was Kung Fu Panda, specifically Tigress. She is, especially in the first movie, a constant stoic presence. She doesn't talk much, but she has a fearsome personality, and it can be kinda off-putting, especially for Po, who's berated by her throughout much of the movie, up until near the end. But when stuff does go down, she clearly shows her care not only for Po, but for everyone else. And you could definitely see that in movies 2 and especially 3 as well. And those are only some examples. If you have any examples of stoic characters, let me know down below in the comment section. Those are some I could think off the top of my head, but I'm sure my audience has some better ones. So the big question with the stoic archetype is, why is your player character stoic? And what does that look like for your character? Because stoicism can come in so many forms, as I implied before. TV Tropes even gives a general couple of examples. It could be the tough leader facade. It could be someone who's a nerve of steel. It could be someone who is comically serious. Or they could be a perpetual frowner. So, is their character's stoicism from, say, trying to protect someone they love and possibly failing in the process? Is it from the harshness of the world they live in? Maybe the character chose to put up a stoic persona to avoid being hurt, or to be a beacon of light to the other player characters. Maybe tie that stoicism to another PC so you can develop that further. Or maybe their stoicism is from a moment of trauma or horror on their journey or a previous journey. Stoicism could even be related to some pretty tough topics to be discussed at the table. Heteropatriarchy and patriarchy are one thing I think of. Maybe your masculine character or a character who identifies as a man doesn't express their emotions ever, and that's because of their upbringing. So, a character arc for them could be them slowly unpacking and revealing their emotions and learning how to be more soft, kind, and caring and express their feelings while also being comfortable in wherever they fall in the gender spectrum. Whatever reason you as the GM choose, be sure to inform the GM and subsequently the players so that all of you can communicate and work towards finding commonalities with your characters, especially if the Stoic is in that party. In conclusion, the Stoic to some might seem like a one-dimensional character. They might seem actually counterintuitive to a tabletop role-playing game since they will not be friendly to the other characters. After all, TTRPGs are a community-based game. But the Stoic, when created in conjunction with the other characters, can shine and be a brilliant character. Whereas the other PCs might have more bombastic personalities, the Stoic grounds the team. They are the one who can bring reason to the group, or set fear into the enemies. They can be the aloof character archetype alongside being quiet, or one who just doesn't want to understand humor. Whatever choice you as the player make, the Stoic is not one-dimensional. Whether you're fighting villains by day, horrifying curses, or the troubles of teenage life, being Stoic is just one of the great ways to play an awesome character in TTRPGs. But what if you didn't want to play a Stoic character? What if you wanted to play someone who had a inflated ego? Well, this video on the egoist is the perfect heart-stopping video for you. Finally, special shout out to my Patreon member, Harrison Parker, for your continued support. You too can be a Patreon member over here if you want to support me monetarily and see some behind the scenes stuff on what I'm developing and working on next. If not, you can also check out my Ko-fi here, or my social media, or my other links down below in the comment section. And as always, I'm your average everyday queer host, Boilerdy Disposition. Hope you all have an awesome day. Ciao!